farmland around here, and then there's this. This is a good caravan. Demas has it. Our camp up at night, we're getting a fire started at night. Despite the fact that there's a... Yeah, see, now just keep hitting that hard, dude. Give it oxygen, man, that thing's hungry. How's it going? John 14.6 Bushcraft. Back at my dad's again in the backyard. I want to shoot another video of camp tips. I'm actually going to start calling it bush tips because, I mean, I want it to grasp more than just camping or being at camp. So this episode is going to be on hatchet tips using hatchet, sharpening, maintenance, and I'm just going to try to make this quick. There's not a whole lot to a hatchet. I mean, they do almost everything very well. So first off, I want to start with how to split or process wood for a fire. So you would start by, you always want to swing away from yourself, and you go at an angle. This is hard wood. Okay, so I could it's not necessary, you could split this whole thing, but you probably want to do it in halves, but I'm just going to take this off and then I'll split that. So you just keep on, do a few chops on each side. Very hard wood. Okay. Now I just did that so I can get rid of the knots. And if you can, you want to take advantage of any split you got in the wood. So there's a big split right there. Now, what you want to do is kind of just set your hatchet there and just, at first you want to just let the weight of the hatchet dig it in, and then you can really split it. And you see that because it had a split already in it, it went down like halfway through it. So it split it just like that. Now without a split, you would just, I'll do this side, let the weight kind of get it in there. This wood is so freaking hard. And you see it's already, you just kind of twist it. You got that. Now see, these are long pieces. I would probably normally just keep it half that length, but I want to kind of try to make this a little quick. And you just let the weight dig it in. Unless it's really hard like this, I guess you kind of want to, there you go. And just split it, just like that. Now, if you were to make a fire with a sharp hatchet, and like this, you see it's got a narrow head. It's really good for cutting. It's not the best splitter, but you can make feather sticks if you had to, but you don't have as much control as you would have with a knife. So what I would do is I would just cut a bunch of shavings off like that, because the weight of the hatchet really helps you get them shavings. And you can just keep doing that until you got a pile, and then you can get your fire started. And give me a second. When you go to make that fire, you could easily just see, I would never do this with my knife, but a hatchet, there's some, I would never you know, use the edge on a knife to strike a fire steel, but with a hatchet, it's more of a robust, hardcore tool, you know, so it's got a lot more steel on it that you can shave off when you were sharpening it. But I'm not going to start a fire now, I'm just going to show you how I do it. I'll just kind of hold it here and just like that. And because a lot of times these hand forged hatchets don't have a 90-degree spine anywhere on it, so you're kind of forced to use the edge. But you know, a hatchet also would replace a small knife, especially like this. I mean, it's got a nice little edge, easy to maintain. That's another reason I prefer hatchets, is because, you know, a hatchet over like a big knife or something, or a machete, is because you got so little to maintain. You know, it's really easy to keep that edge maintained. You don't have to do a ton of work on it. But there's that. Now, if you were making tent stakes or something with a knife, yeah, you could carve a spike, but hatchets do it much quicker. You just bites right in, and it can get you a spike, you know. There's a tent stake. Now, let's see what we got here. I'll use this. It's really knotty, so it might not work the way I want it to, but we obviously don't have an axe, so it's not going to split huge wood. And if you did have an axe, you could just set up a big piece of wood like this, you know, and go down, but you don't want to do that with a hatchet. The hatchet, I would prefer to kind of lean it up against something like this. Now, this is my left hand, so I might miss, but I'll lean it up against something and just, yep. Like I said, this is my left hand. Then you can just split it like that. And you can just get your wood that way. What else we got? And that seems to work pretty good. I don't really know if there's much else to cover. When I sharpen mine, I don't have a stone here, but I'll show you with a stick, kinda. I'd take like some sort of Arkansas stone. I like to use that, or if you got a DC4 stone or something. But most hatchets are convexed, and that helps with edge retention and rolling over, you know, prevents rolling over or chipping. So when you sharpen with a stone, if you keep it at one angle the whole time, you're going to eventually create another bevel on it, and you don't want that. So what I do is, when I use a stone, I would go first, I would bend the edge until I see no darkness to where it's right on the tip of the edge, and I would just circular motions all the way across, and then all the way back down, and then I would do the other side, just like that, and then all the way back down right on the edge. And then I would probably go again on the edge, but this time I would also steep the angle to where it's not really on the edge, so I can keep that convex, so I can keep it rounded, you know. And I would do that all the way across. And then after that, I would normally take like my belt or something and strop it on my leather belt, get that final edge, you know. But usually I don't let it get dull enough to where I need to use a stone on it, and I can just strop it. So that's it on Hatchet 101. So I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll keep these videos coming. Take care.